You're Sperp back with another video, and I just got out of watching The Pod Generation. This is starring Emilia Clarke, and I know I'm gonna butcher his name, Chuyatel Ejiofor. Yeah, I'm never gonna be able to say that again. But Emilia plays this character Rachel, and Chuyatel plays this character Alvy. They are a couple that lives in this world, or in this kind of futuristic kind of setting where everything is ran off of AI and everything's automated. Um, you know, they even have a 3D printer that prints out their food. They have this AI that just has this whole schedule set up for them. And this movie was very fascinating because we aren't far off from this type of future where we're solely reliant on technology, and it does literally everything from people don't even go to therapists anymore. They look to AI for therapy and stuff, and that within itself is really creepy because the actual AI things are like these little weird like eye things. I don't know how to explain it, but it almost felt like that was like the horror element to this movie, because there's a lot of humor sprinkled throughout this, but the sci-fi and just how they present the AI itself, it's very fucking creepy to me. But yeah, so this is following Rachel wanting to pretty much have a kid, and this is where we get introduced to the womb center where you can pretty much make an artificial baby. And that conversation by itself is a very fascinating conversation to have, especially what's kind of going on with the world and how it's changing, and how technology just plays a huge role in our lives, how we're so dependent on it. And I like Alvy's character because not only Alvy's character, but also Rachel, to some extent, they still kind of believe in doing things the natural way. And one thing leads to another where they finally kind of have an artificial baby. Then this is where things get really complicated with both of them, because Alvy is very much so a man about science and just a person that believes in nature. He's a botanist. And even when Rachel's at work, because this is such an eerie kind of future, because Rachel's at work and they know everything about you, from like what you do socially and what's in the algorithm. So like I said, once this artificial baby comes into their life, it just completely changes them, and it's not it's not what they expected. It's a little bit more difficult. And you definitely see in this movie that with having a artificial kid, you don't really have a lot of control or say on the actual baby itself. Like, one character that was like, I guess, an extra a side character was asking, like, do these babies even dream? Because that's the stuff you gotta kind of ask yourself, and what you're signing up for within your contract of doing one of these artificial babies. It's fascinating. The drama is really dope. I like the story. It's one of those movies that constantly makes you ask questions in a good way, though. And I think there's definitely going to be a lot of conversation. This just whole movie felt like one big ass episode of Black Mirror, because there's at one point where I was like, is this shit going to end really dark? And the overall gist of this is just really fascinating, that you really can't replace things that are natural. Those things are always going to be better than something that's artificial. But that's kind of just my short thoughts on this movie without going into deep spoilers. Definitely go check this out if you can in theaters, because it's playing right now. But if you want to wait till digital, you can wait till digital or hit streaming. It should be on streaming probably by like next month, the way that things get just released. But I just found this whole movie to be fascinating. The whole gist of, AI and that kind of playing a part in an actual childbirth, and that's just really fascinating to me, and just everything else surrounding this movie was really dope. I thought the cinematography was really clean, nothing too fancy, very basic, simple. The pacing just kept me intrigued, because just this is the type of topics that get talked about a lot, especially with just this whole writer's strike and their whole fear about AI and it replacing certain essential jobs or non-essential jobs. And it's an interesting movie. I highly recommend checking it out for yourself. Till next time, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.